Why no one is buying my coaching?
Okay, let's do it.
Because,
So if somebody comes to me and says, I've done everything, but nobody's buying from me, usually it's really not true. What is this everything that you have done? Usually a quick audit will tell you right away, no, you have not done everything. You think you have done everything, or you've told your brain that you've done everything. No, 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 no. Like
but
oftentimes, like you can look at it from so many different perspectives, and you can see, like obviously it depends on the person. And somebody can say, I post all the time. I've seen this also. I post all the time, but no result. And I'm like, how many times do you post? I posted like 3 months ago. Yeah, you don't post all the time. Like it can be based on so many different things.
what kind of question do you ask when you audit the everything?
The everything usually like I'll ask uh like uh, like I'll look at if they have social media, I'll look at their social media. If they have offers, I'll look at their offers. If they have it's like offers programs, I'll look at that. I'll look at how often they share their offers, or if they have a way of sharing their offers. A lot of the times when it can be one thing or another, like somebody will be like, I've been posting, I've been doing all these things, and a lot of the times you're like, when was the last time you shared an offer? And it was 3 months ago. How will people buy from you if you shared your offer 3 months ago? Like no one is buying because they're not seeing your offers and things like that.
In your opinion and in your experience, what's the number one or the top three reason people don't buy coaching from coaches?
You mean coaches are not selling their programs?
Yes, yes. What the number one or top three reason? Why?
The top three reasons I'll say, I think the first one is nobody knows that they exist. Like in their head, they feel like people know. Like nobody, like it's like, oh, I have this amazing program, but who knows that you have the amazing program? Um, like there are many different ways that you can, like I always say to my clients, you want to make sure that at least, well, like when I first started, that's what I did as well. When I first started and nobody knew who I was and what I did, I was like, I even had like a Google sheet, literally. I had a Google sheet open where like I was like, every day, at least one person who didn't know about my work yesterday need to know about me, like every day. So like it really fueled me. It really made me like, okay, what can I do today to make at least one person who didn't know about me yesterday learn about me today and like know that I exist. Now it's like it becomes much bigger than that. But then you have to ask yourself, like, what are the ways that I want to be seen? I want to be discovered every day. Like there are so many different ways you can do that. You can use social media to post. You can go to meeting call, what do you call those things? The networking meeting, or like associate with other people. Like you get to choose. Like there are certain ways that I don't like to do it, and there are certain ways that I do like to do it. Like you can run ads. There are, like people have to discover you every day. That's the number one thing. The second one is a lot of the times, like if people are not buying, if you have a good offer, if you know exactly what it is that you do for your clients, like the end result, what are they going to get? That's actually a big one as well. I would say the second one, the second biggest one is like people don't even know, like, or at the very least, they can't express what their work is doing for their clients, right? A lot of the times, especially in spirituality minded communities or like coaches, uh, like they get so stuck. We get so stuck in like the methodology. It's like, oh, I do the method, I do this practice for you, but like who cares what the practice is? Like I'll do chakra healing for you, I'll do Reiki on you, I'll do like, who cares about the method, right? Like it's more, okay, what is this going to do for me? In addition to that, like even when we talk about energy work and all these things, they can do many, many different things. But if you don't take a stand for this is what I want to utilize my work for, then we're just talking up in the air. Like that's the second one. Actually, that's a big one. for people who are not getting clients because they're not straight. And also, it's like I feel like there's the other thing is just like I'm not taking a stand for this, right? Like I'm not backing it up. I'm not backing it up. It's another way of being shy and like sometimes being afraid, or what if I don't get the result? But if you don't take a stand for it, like even your brain is not, right? Like the moment you take a stand for it, then like what are the different ways that I can actually give the results to my clients, right? And then the third one will be basically not sharing your offers enough, like not sharing your offers enough. Yeah. The other thing for me, I actually relate that a lot. Like, I did a training a while ago, like obviously like marketing. And one of my past mentors, like I love this. He was a man, he's a man. And he says, so he always says like you have to land the plane, right? Like spirituality minded humans, like we have the tendency to be like up here. It's like blah, 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 like talk about all the things and all the methodology, but we don't land the plane, meaning we don't actually tell people what it is that like it's going to do for them, right? But like I actually one very interesting thing, right? Like we don't talk enough about this. One very interesting thing is that you can hear that expression. You can hear lend the plane. You can hear tell the people what they want. I finally understood because I experienced this for myself as well. I understood that like some part of it is very energetic, right? So spirituality minded humans, like we have a lot of energy up here, right? We have a lot of energy up here, not very grounded on earth, right? Not everybody is like that. I used to be like that a lot, right? So if you're up here, it doesn't matter how much you hear, you have to land the plane, right? You're still up here. You still like your messaging is still up here, up here, up here. What I realized is that for me, the more I started descending, I call it descending in my body, descending in my core. The more I started coming back down on earth, right? And this is very energetic. The more naturally I started talking about like what is the concrete result, like and like the more I descended, like I can't help myself even like I'm automatically thinking, oh yeah, like what's in it for them? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? Right? Uh, so like all that to say, sometimes we can hear information, we can hear, we can. It's not that we don't know, but like sometimes because like we up here, depending on what's happening energetically within ourselves. Again, for me, it wasn't until like I call it, I descended. I descended within my like, oh, I can see now. Oh, okay, yeah, I can. It's almost like that's how it's really representative, actually. How like sometimes we up here, like all woo woo, right? And our messaging a lot of the times reflects that, and that's how we live in our lives as well.
If I'm a coach and I don't sell so much and
Yeah.
people are not buying from me so much, and how can I be more grounded, more concrete?
Yeah, for me, I'll tell you how I did it and how my clients do it. So it's a combination of both, right? For me, I like practical very much, and then I like my energy to back the practical, right? So, like, in my work with my clients, I talk a lot about the practical. Here's where you want to go. You want to land the plane. You want to be concrete. You want to be, right? And at the same time, like energetically, like our practice is literally like the whole purpose of our practice is really integrating all layers of your energies, which means that it naturally brings you down more and more and more. Right? And what I've seen is that the more you do that, actually, the more you anchor your energy like that, not only like some things happen, like people who were afraid to take action before start taking action. They are more grounded. They are, even when they express their work, for example, they express the work not just from the spiritual like realm perspective, which they do as well, but also from the physical realm. Like like one of the things that I talk a lot about, actually, even in my work with my clients, it's like this, right? Like I talk about like the physical realm, emotional realm, and also spiritual realm. And I feel like if your message is able to really touch all these three bodies of somebody as you're having a conversation with them, That's the kind of thing that really makes people buy from you very fast, because intellectually they understand what it is that you're doing for them. Emotionally, it like really engages them very fast. And then it actually also moves their body towards, and so when it's aligned, very fast, people can decide to buy from you, even when it's like a 5-figure program and stuff like that.
And do you think people buy from coaches they like or coaches they trust?
Well, isn't that expression no, like, and trust? Why do we need to choose between? So, if we have to choose between like and trust, I would say trust. Yeah, not just
Why?
like. Yeah. Like, if I like somebody and I don't believe that and I don't trust that they can get me the result, why will I buy from them? We can just be friends and then move on. You know? It's like, why would I buy? Just to be friendly? No. But like, if I trust that the person can give me the result or working in the space, or if I trust that when I'm in their space, I feel activated, it creates something for me. Yes, I feel like if you have to choose, trust.
Okay, and
It's
how do
more
you
important.
create trust as a coach?
For me, just do what you say what you do, and share. Like, for me personally, like, how I do that. Okay, let me rephrase that. Like, I want to share it from the perspective of what my clients say to me. Okay, so what my clients said to me about like why they trust is because, like, when I fall, I tell them I fall. When I win, I tell them I win. When I'm going through challenges, I literally share with them what kind of challenges I'm going through and how I'm guiding myself through the challenges. Right? And so it's a little bit tricky sometimes. But like, at first I was very scared. At first I was like, whoa, like, do I really want to share this with my clients? And like, even recently, like, one of my clients said that to me. Is She said to me that you make me really feel that, like, as a coach, I don't need to be perfect. That it's not about perfection. It's not about knowing like what to do exactly the right way, but rather than that, like, even when you fall, and you will fall, like, it's inevitable. You will fall, because that's a process of growth. When you fall, to get back up, and the whole thing when we're talking about even like experiences is like, I don't want to learn from somebody who just like no challenges. It's like, what the hell? You ask some of these questions. It depends. I mean, like, if no one is buying from you, like, you have to look at it. I think if no one is buying from you, like, you have to look at it from the perspective of, like, first of all, what is my work doing for people? Right? Like, very much like clarity. And does that matter to me? Where am I headed for myself? Does that matter to me? Okay. Then, if I'm sure, I know that my work actually has value, if I'm sure that my work is giving the change or the transformation to people who are coming to me, I know that there's value there, right? Then let's step further back. Why are people not buying from me? Right? Is it because I'm not showing up? Is it because nobody knows about, like, my work? Is it because sometimes the way that I'm selling, I don't actually want to sell that way? Right? Like, is it because the way that I'm, like, I have my structure, like, that's not the way that I want it? Or is it that, like, maybe I've had, like, this one I've experienced as well, when, like, what I call heartache. Is this that, like, I've had a bad experience with maybe a client, and then all of a sudden I shut it down, and I'm like unconsciously I feel like, oh, I actually don't want to work with anybody right now. Like, what's happening? Like, you have to really look at it. Like, if the first part, okay, my work actually does have value. My work has changed a lot of people's lives, and like, I have no doubt about that, right? If I have doubt about that, then I ask myself, you ask yourself, how can I actually add value? Because all of us can add value to people's lives. How can I give that transformation? Like, how can I, like, what kind of way can I, like, then you get that figured out, right? And then, like, there's a whole marketing part. It's like, what's missing? Are people finding me? Is my messaging on point? Like, am I selling my offers? Am I talking about my offers? How often am I talking about my offers? And all these things. So, like, it's like a big chunk to look at, you know. For me, what I look at, I always go back to why did I start my business to begin with? Why did I start this business? Because, like, all businesses, no matter who you are, you'll have like moments of like ups and then moments where you get challenged. It's really a process of growth, you know. And so if I'm very clear why I started my business to begin with, is that something that I still value? If that's something that I still value, then how am I going to make it work? Like, I really have to choose whether or not, like, because at the same time, people are like this, like in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, it's like, oh, I'm not sure whether I should do this, right? That's leaking a lot of energy. Like, we have to, and I understand, yes, there will be times where you like, I don't know, I'm not sure, right? And in those moments, or the moments where I ask myself, why did I start this business with, for to begin with? Is that something that's still of value to me? And if it is, then what can I change? What needs to change, right? And sometimes you might have to do things that you didn't necessarily expect to do for the purpose of growing your business, for the purpose of feeding your business. But it all depends on, like, do you value that enough? Is this valuable enough for me? And then you also have to look at your life and see all the things that come along with it, you know? Yeah. I know it's not like a, like a complete answer, like it doesn't necessarily, but it's really like a case to case, you know? It's like, what do I value? Why does this matter to me? Am I willing also to keep going like this? And if so, for how long and what needs to change?